Oh,
I
there
am
we
no
go.
longer muted. Yes, I am joining you from StreamYard link.
Yeah, look, because I'm like, I don't know where you're at in the ethos. I don't want to say you're in one specific place, but I know you're on that link. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I got to say, I really thank you for making time in your busy schedule. And I'm so excited that you'll be here on Friday. You have done previous tours before. People have seen you all over the airwaves throughout Hollywood. Tell us a bit about your start, because I think, oftentimes people assume certain things, but you've been doing stuff for a very long time. And I actually got to see one of your clips where you were talking about Seattle, about the Northwest African American Museum. You've done a lot of work before people even saw you on big screens. Tell us about your start.
I started when I was 8. I've been in the Screen Actors Guild since 1994. And I was doing commercials, and I was in the movie Cop and a Half, and on Nickelodeon on My Brother and Me. And so I was doing that kind of work as a child actor. And then when I got to college, I found my way to spoken word, and just really honestly got my invitation into being just an independent artist and really supporting myself through my visual art and my lyrical art and doing music, etc. And that was really what I was doing for quite some time, and found my way to Seattle doing spoken word, and found my way back to Seattle doing visual painting and visual art. Shout to White King Allah, who basically brought me out to Seattle several times to do different types of work, whether it was lecturing or speaking to kids or speaking to older folks at libraries. I had a poetry book. It was definitely a time, and I really appreciate anybody who supports independent artists, because I think that there's such an expectation that if people aren't like co-signed by these major networks, et cetera, that they're not really important yet. So I wasn't really being co-signed by major networks until I was on Insecure. Otherwise, I was doing like stuff on VH1, and I was really just supporting myself through the work that I was doing just freelance wise. And so shout out to all the artists out there that are making a way with their career and their creativity in this weird capitalist place that we're in.
Absolutely. Well, the thing that I really appreciate about you is, I think a lot of people sometimes when you get to a certain place, we talk about it in community all the time, but you really have stayed true to your ideals, and that really carries you forward. I think when you are, on your social media and you're calling out certain things, you're really putting things to light. And it sounds like you're going to be infusing some of that in your show. Tell us about how you curated this specific show to now tour it so people can kind of get a huge glimpse of all the things that you really showcase and represent.
Well, this is stand up. This is stand up comedy. You can check out my stand up on HBO. My right there, that poster is my special. I be knowing. Um, I know that people put me as an actress because I'm able to act, but at this point, I'm so more interested in using my voice to speak about things in a very direct way, not through a character, but just through my experiences. And my stand-up is the most potent and the most real version of that. And I'm on tour putting together my next special. And I've been in Raleigh, North Carolina. We've been in the Kennedy Center in DC. And with each show, I'm really making it my business to use my platform to try to be expansive in bringing community together. So instead of having an opener on majority of these shows, we'll have a closer, and the closer will be an activist or organizer in that area who is doing work on the ground. And really trying to, let people know that the work has continued to be done, even if you weren't a part of it. And so a lot of my audience want to help. They want to be action-based. They know that there needs to be a fight, an ardent, earnest fight against what's going on in this country, but they don't know where to start. Well, there's people who've been on it, who've been focused. And so we're connecting with those people in these cities and throwing them up after I throw these jokes down.
Oh my goodness. That's what I'm talking about. See, that right there is what I'm always sharing with folks, how you can utilize your platform to really spread the work that's happening on the ground. Amanda, man, hats off to you for
Thank you.
understanding that. And that's what I mean, that it's been so important for us to keep that message alive. So I love that you are doing that. I think even for me, people are like, well, how did you end up having your own show and doing Converge? And I'm like, man, I started when I was 9 years old in front of the camera. And really, this has been like a passion of mine. But community activism, as my entire audience knows, is what really pays the bills. I got to be out here advocating for all of the community based organizations that are doing the work, creating solutions on the ground. And the end of every show here, I am encouraging people to be inspired to see themselves as a part of the solution, because
Absolutely.
we will not get out of this if we're not all pouring into it. And so I just love that
Because
you are
guess what?
utilizing the
They
space
are
for
all
that.
pouring into it.
Yeah.
Guess what? They are all pouring into the people that we consider to be oppressors. They all consider themselves valued part of keeping oppression alive. They all consider themselves a role in that, and they commit to it. They make it a part of their culture every day to wake up and be a part of advancing the oppressive systems of this nation. We need to have the same energy. We need to keep the same energy in terms of challenging and dismantling it.
Oh my goodness. Every single day of my life, I echo this. So I thank you so much for doing that. Of course, we got to give you some time and space to make sure people know how they can come to this amazing show on Friday. Man, shout out to SDG, because I'm glad that you're going to be on one of the biggest stages here in Seattle at Paramount. We love them. Make sure folks know how they can follow you, stay connected to all the messages that you're putting out there. And again, appreciate you so much for giving us some time. But make sure folks know how they can see this show on Friday.
So you can go to amandaseals.com. That's AMANDASEALES.com. And you can check out the tickets right there at the amandaseals.com. We have all the tour dates. So if you have friends in other cities that may want to check me out, it's listed right there. We also just added Chicago and Detroit. No, sorry, we added Chicago and the Bay. So we'll have those tickets going on sale shortly. You can also subscribe to the Amandaverse. It's basically a universe of Amanda, but it's basically my subscription service where I provide behind the scenes content, a bunch of commentary that I do not share on Instagram. It is also where I do sketches and other show other personal videos, etc. But really what it is a place where you can, one, support me being an independent artist so I can continue to speak in the earnest, honest way that I do. And also a place where we've created an environment outside of Zuckerberg's very shady ridden Instagram where we can have real conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you for providing a separate outlet and platform. We talk about this all the time, that, in order for you to really get these kinds of messages out that are going to dismantle all of this, it means that you kind of have to have your own platform, because we already know the algorithms work against us. And you said something that really resonates with me, that everybody that is involved in the oppressiveness of things, they know that they are doing it, and they are doing it with full throttle. So we also have to come with that same energy in order to disrupt all of that. And you called out my brother, KY King Garrett. Shout out to him, because I know he's one of those folks that are on the ground. You see, I'm
Every
representing
day.
Africatown proudly today,
Yes.
but been doing it for a really long time. And it really takes a lot of us to be dedicated to this
Yeah.
over the long haul, because this is not a short game at all. This is a very long game we got to play, and we understand that. Thank you for uplifting that message. I can't wait to see you on Friday.
Thank y'all. See you there.
All right. Bye. Oh my.